Hello, it's Tom from Big Tom. There's 10 things you need to know before you take a driving test. Just want to go over them with you briefly so you don't fall into any traps. Number one, the driving test is a clinical assessment. It's not something that can be taken lightly. It's an examiner looking precisely at your driving ability. Next one is that driving examiners simply can't ignore any driving faults. As much as you might think that they may have missed something or that they might perhaps let that one go, they simply can't ignore them. Number three, knowledge is power. You need to be able to be in a position to apply the theory that you've studied in order to pass a theory test in any given situation as you're driving along. Number four, there is no such thing as quotas. It's often talked about test centres just do not have quotas, and so the reason why you know this is true is because if you look at the test centre pass rates across the UK, they're all different. The national average is pass rate is less than 50%, but all the test centres have got different pass rates, so there are no such things as quotas. The next one is that stress will cloud your judgment. So it's very, very good idea to take a driving instructor with you to observe the test so that you can get good feedback, good quality feedback of what happens. If you don't have your instructor observing your test, the possibility will be that you just don't really fully appreciate, if you did fail your driving test, why that's happened. Number six, just being able to drive is not going to necessarily be good enough for you being a confident driver post-test, even if you were to pass it. What I mean by that is being able to drive in itself, just being able to drive to pass the driving test does not necessarily make you a confident driver post-test. You've got to keep your standards high, become a good thinking driver. Number seven, it is actually a skill to be able to accommodate other road users. It's a skill that needs to be refined so that if you did fail your driving test, it's not because of the actions of some other road user. It is a skill to be actually able to accommodate what other road users do. Number eight, do not expect there to be any special privileges or allowances by anybody, either from the examiner or even from other road users, just because you're on your driving test. You may or may not be driving a driving school car, but the fact that you are on a driving test and driving a driving school car does not give you any extra allowances to make mistakes, or it doesn't matter. By putting yourself in the driving test, you are saying that you are ready to drive independently in your own car. Number nine, do try to keep a positive attitude to continuing to learn after you pass your driving test. Passing the driving test is one thing, but you will still be picking up experiences post-test, and you need to be able to still learn from those experiences. The last one, more people are failing the driving test than they are passing. The national average is lower than 50%. Statistically, it shows that people are going to test too soon because there are more people that are failing it. So take your advice from a professional driving instructor as to when you should be going to test. That's your top 10 tips before going to take a driving test.